Hey, y'all, it's me, Dr. Lynn Daniel, PhD, EDS. I am the self care evangelist, and I'm here today. I want to tell you all that self care is more than manicures and massages, you all. That is right. Self care is all inclusive, it covers so many parameters of life, and we're going to talk about it today. So, I'm Dr. Lynn Daniel. I'm known as the self care evangelist here on social medias because I preach about the importance of self care. And what does it look like? Self care looks like varying degrees of engagement with your well being, actions that you take to be well, whole, and to enjoy the life that you have. Starts with mindset. It starts with getting that mind right. There are some people who, for whatever reason, have made decisions to minimize or neglect their self care. But do you know that one day you will collect that bill? That bill of neglect is accumulating, and one day you are going to have to pay it. So, self care, if you look at the International Self Care Foundation's website, you will learn and see that there are several tools to help you better understand what self care is. So, you have a self care matrix, you have the 7 pillars of self care, you have the self care pyramid, and then you have the definitions of what is self care. So, self care embodies wholeness and wellness for the entire being, your physical being, your spiritual being, your emotional, psychological well being, and then other aspects of your life that intersect with your well being, right? So, your career choice, where you live, what kinds of foods you eat, or the stores that you shop at for the quality, the various varying degrees of quality of food that you eat. So many levels, you all. It's self-care is more than manicures and massages. Yes, you can get a manicure because they're relaxing. They massage your hands, they take care of your cuticles, they clean your nails up real good, and it's very soothing and relaxing. So it is an aspect of self-care, but it's not the whole thing. So let me see if I can go to International Self-Care Foundation's website, and let me see if I can share my screen. If I am not able to share my screen, then I encourage you to visit isfglobal.org so that way you can see all of these important aspects of self care. So let me see. Present, share screen. Let's see if I'm able to do that. Mm-mm-mm. This one. I may not be able to, you all. I may not be able to share my screen. I'm going to try one more time. Present, share my screen. It's easiest with 2 monitors while I only have one. And I'm usually able to share my screen. Here we go. Yes. I know, like at work when I do screen sharing, and I'm still learning. Look, I tell my students all the time, I was a full grown adult when I started learning technology. When all this tech rolled out, I was grown. Okay. So I'm learning it as you came into the world playing with it and learned it innately. Okay, so you should be able to see this. This is the International Self Care Foundation's website. And as you can see, it talks about a lot of aspects of self care, how to practice self care, how to measure self care. What is self care? What is it exactly? Okay. Now, someone was asking, well, they didn't directly ask me, but they kept mentioning my name, the self care evangelist, the self care evangelist. I'm in a conversation with a group of people, um, and I'm listening. And then at certain times, I get to interject and share. And this individual kept saying my name, the self care evangelist. But they really didn't like show that they understood the scope of what my name represents. And so, yes, I am an educator. I am a teacher. I am a small business owner, and I help businesses with their trainings, training materials, and that type of thing, curriculum design and curriculum development, materials, processes, all of that. What does that have to do with self care? A lot. It has to do with self care because your instructional materials need to speak to the needs of the people, need to be easy to navigate, easy to comprehend and appreciate. The information needs to be presented in bite-sized nuggets and so that it is not overwhelming. And so self-care, the psychological side of self-care is being addressed in my business because you're dealing with the learning psyche of adults, adolescents, young people, teachers of adolescents, teachers of refugee students, trainees on jobs, being onboarded on jobs. And these individuals want to feel good, successful, accomplished. They want to feel like they are gaining an understanding and an appreciation of the information that they are learning and being taught. Self care evangelist, my name, fits my entire scope of my life. Okay. Me as a teacher, I have to make sure that I'm taking care of myself well so that I can have the energy to present and teach and instruct my students. Y'all is multifaceted. All right, so you all see this page rolling by. Excuse me for going on a rampage, but this is the website that I really appreciate. Here are the 7 pillars of self care. Pillar 1, knowledge and health literacy. Do you understand that being able, well, having access to the information on how to be healthy and well, having access to that information is one component. Then being able to read the information and understand it so that you can increase your knowledge, that's another component in the health literacy paradigm or pillar. So, pillar 1 is knowledge and health literacy. Pillar 2 is mental well being, feeling good about yourself, having internal peace, having self assuredness, and knowing that you can rely on yourself to care for yourself, that you won't self sabotage, you won't self neglect, that you will take the actions to be well. And even if that includes paying a professional for their services to help you achieve your mental well being. Pillar 3 is physical activity. What level of physical activity are you able to engage in? And at what intensity and at what intervals, levels of intervals? Pillar 4, eating healthy. making sure that you are paying attention to your nutrition, drinking enough water every day, having enough greens, and just eating properly for your body and for your wellness, your nutritional needs. Pillar 5, risk avoidance, risk mitigation. You see that picture? So you want to stop bad habits or avoid them altogether. I was listening to Ramit, what is his name? Ramit Sethi, I think. The guy who is on the internet, and he's just very knowledgeable about a lot of things, personal finance, business. And he was talking about growing up and in his household, in his family circle, he didn't have any concerns about drugs because that was not in his family circle. So he didn't go into detail about, did his parents teach them to avoid drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, and the various levels of drugs and drug abuse, or did they just not even know what it was? He didn't go into that, but he talked about it wasn't a concern for him personally because it wasn't on his radar. But see, some of us have connections with either individuals or communities or, you know, systems where that's an issue. And we have to take steps to avoid those bad habits for ourselves. That's a part of our self care. And if we do have habits that are, that could really, you know, you're going to pay a bill, it's going to, the tab is going to come due. So you mitigate those. You work towards reducing them in your life all the way down to zero. Okay? That's pillar 5. Pillar 6, good hygiene is self care, right? Bathing your body, personal hygiene, brushing your teeth, going to the dentist, having your teeth cleaned, wearing a retainer if you need to, or having your teeth straightened and using orthodontics to do that. Like there are so many, I'm big on dental stuff because I'm just big on having a nice smile. But there are so many other pillars, like in the good hygiene. What kind of soap can you use? Can you afford? What's the best soap, body soap, in the range of your affordability? So many. Laundry detergent, even, is a part of good hygiene and personal care. So many things with good hygiene. And because it's important for us to understand, and you all know this already, but I'm just going to verbalize it, is if our hygiene is not good, then we can spread diseases with our poor hygiene. Yeah, like it gets deep. It gets very deep. And so we have to look at, how well do we wash our bodies and all the parts of our body, right? And yeah, it gets deep. So I'll leave it at that. But you go get deep and look at good hygiene and what does that look like for you. And then pillar 7 is rational and responsible use of self-care products and services. So, sometimes you may have to use a prescription or have a service of some sort where things are delivered to your home as a part of your self-care plan. And you are aware of the proper way to use these things. You're taking the right steps to be knowledgeable about the application of these uh, products, and you're being rational with the use of these products. You're relying on trustworthy sources to inform you about the various products that you may want to try and use for your self care. So, self care, y'all, is way more than manicures and massages. Here's a survey. What are the biggest risks, if I can say it? What are the biggest risks to health and opportunity for prevention? I don't know why I can't talk today. It's been a long day. I did stay a little late at work, but that shouldn't be why I'm stumbling over my words. What are the biggest risks to health and opportunity for prevention? You see these on here: smoking, obesity, low physical activity, air pollution, or other. And then all of these choices have read more. So you click on those. So, what are the biggest risks to health and opportunity for prevention? I am going to say, right now, I'm going to say air pollution just right now because of what's in the news. Let me see. Is it going to give me? Okay. So, let's see what the results show. Air pollution is only 6.6%, 6.27. Not very many people think it's a problem. Low physical activity is in the lead with 38%. Obesity, 36%, second place. Smoking, 19%. All right. Okay, you all. So I am encouraging everyone to check out this website. There is so much on here. So, what is self care? Let's look at the definition. Self care is what people do for themselves to establish and maintain health and to prevent and deal with illness. It is a broad concept encompassing hygiene, general and personal, nutrition, type and quality of food eaten, lifestyle, sporting activities, leisure, etc., environmental factors, living conditions, social habits, etc., social economic factors, income level, cultural beliefs, etc., and self-medication. So it covers so much, you all. And who World Health Organization, this is their definition. They defined it this way. It even goes into more explanation about what each pillar is and what it means and how to define each pillar. Here is the self care pyramid. Okay. And then there is a self care matrix somewhere on here. It might be on a separate page. But you all, my name, the self care evangelist, it encompasses my entire life pretty much, you know, as an educator, as a business owner, as a mom, as a grandmother, as just a human being who's living. And I just try my best to be well and healthy so that I can enjoy the rest of my days here. And I am bringing as many people into the land of wellness with me by educating, informing, and sharing what I'm learning, what I know, what I'm experiencing. And so, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate your input and your engagement. If you all have any questions, if you all have anything you want me to cover, any specific topics dealing with self care, just let me know. You can message me, leave a comment under this video, message me on LinkedIn, or just, engage with this video here, okay? Thank you all for your time. Be blessed. I'm out.